Hello and welcome to another video. This is Hannah with Frugal for Two, and today we're going to be looking at how to make a homemade pasta slash pizza sauce. Now you can get the pre-made pizza sauce or pasta sauce pretty cheaply, but I have found through experimentation that I can make it even cheaper. So these are the ingredients that we will be working with today. Now these are very cheap and not very many ingredients, as you can see. All you're going to need is pepper, Italian seasoning, garlic salt, tomato paste, and 1.5 cups of water. You'll probably need more water throughout, but that's what you'll need to start. So first off, you're going to be turning up your heat to about medium-high to get your pan warm, and then you're going to be adding in your tomato paste. Now you can get tomato sauce and just add less water, but I find that tomato paste is actually cheaper. If you are willing to do a little bit of work, add a little bit more water. You can also add other things into this sauce. You can add tomatoes, you can add meat. It just increases the cost of the sauce, and this is just the bare bones version of this sauce. Next in, you're going to very quickly add in your water and get this into a nice smooth consistency. Now, with pizza versus pasta sauce, your pizza sauce, you're going to want to add in more of the Italian seasoning and less salt. You're going to want a bit more salt for pasta sauce, because remember, when you're making pizza, you're also adding cheese. You're adding other things that usually have salt in them, so you don't need as much salt. With pasta sauce, however, there isn't a lot of flavor to pasta, even if you cook it in salt water, so you're going to want to add a little bit more salt. These spices can be adjusted to your preference, but I'm just giving you a basic rundown of how I prefer it. And you can see with the medium heat, you're getting a little bit of boiling, and that is exactly what you want. Next, you're going to be adding in a heavy sprinkling of garlic salt, and about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And just like your garlic salt, you're just going to give a nice sprinkling of pepper over top. Once you've got those spices in there, you're going to stir it up well. And you're going to let it cook for a bit. Ideally, you want to be able to have at least an hour to let this cook in. because the longer you cook it, the more those spices can infuse into the sauce. But I have made this sauce in 30 minutes when I needed a quick dinner. I just added a little bit more spices because they didn't really have time to infuse. At this point, you can turn it down to medium-low and just let it simmer. I'd let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes and then come back and check on it. So here we are about 15 minutes later, and you can see that it's thickened up quite a bit. And at this point, we're going to want to do a taste test. It needs a bit more garlic salt. So I'm just gonna give that a good sprinkling. So now that I've added in that extra garlic salt that it needs, I'm gonna add in about a half cup of water. And that's just so it doesn't get too thick while it's cooking. And now, ideally, you're going to let it cook for another 15 to 20 minutes and test it again. If you're trying to make a quick dinner though, I would go ahead and add a little bit more spice than you need and pull it off. It's been about 15 minutes and I did a taste test. The sauce is good to go, so I took it off the heat and I let it cool down and transferred it to the pizza sauce jar. Now this is about half a jar, as you can see, and it will make about 4 servings of pasta. This costs about maybe 60 cents or less to make, and while you can get a cheap pasta sauce for about $1 that's maybe about this much, a little bit less, it's got sugar and preservatives and all sorts of things in it that you really don't want. And so this is cheaper and healthier. I started out using the store-bought pizza sauce to use on noodles. I called them pizza noodles. I just added some pizza sauce and some mozzarella cheese and a little bit of parsley on top just to be fancy. Called it good. It was very inexpensive and I loved it. But I realized pasta sauce was cheaper than pizza sauce. And the only difference was it didn't have very much Italian seasoning in it. So I went ahead and grabbed pasta sauce, I added some Italian seasoning to it and called it good. And then pasta sauce wasn't in the budget one time and I had tomato paste. So I went ahead and started making my own sauce. And honestly, I don't think I will buy the pre-made sauce anymore because this is just so much better. It is slightly cheaper by a few cents and it's healthier. I know what's in it and I can adjust to taste. So with that, I hope you enjoy making this if you do give it a try, and I will see you next time. Bye!